Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome back to Brick.dad.builds. Now with this series, we're going to focus on the story of Lego, its timeline, its history, and where the origins of Lego actually started. So, stick with me for this entire series and let's follow along and see where Lego started. Now, aside from my content here, if you guys want to see some thrilling adventures of a Brick Dad, you can also check out The Thrilling Adventures of Brick Dad book by Henry and Kate, two Lego masters out of Australia. Now, I follow them, they're good friends, and I just wanted to point out their book here and say thank you guys very much for putting this out. And now back to the topic of the video, the story of Lego and the original Brick Dad.
You've probably seen one of these, a Lego brick. But have you ever wondered how it all started and why it's called Lego? Actually, the name is much older than this plastic brick. Are you curious? Let me tell you how it all began. Many years ago, there was a skilled and hard-working carpenter named Kirk Christiansen. Ole was a respected carpenter with his own company, but times were hard, so he didn't have much money and had to dismiss his last worker.
Come on in.
I've closed down the workshop and packed my things.
Thank you. I suppose I'd better write you a paycheck. Take care. Well, that was the last one. I just didn't imagine that it would come to this.
I know. It's hard to understand. But at least now it can't get much worse.
But it did get worse. Shortly after, Ole lost his wife. But Ole was a special person. He wasn't the type that gave up. And with the responsibility of his 4 sons, he had to think of something. Ole had gotten an idea. And for him, it never took long to put an idea into action. Ole's little invention made his boys so happy that he thought maybe he should start making toys. Ole decided to give it a try. Luckily, he had saved up a lot of wood from the carpentry production. He could now use it to make toys. Time passed by. And even though Ole was a skilled carpenter and had a good eye for quality and detail, sales were very slow. Luckily, one of his sons, Gottfried, started helping out his dad after school. Together, they just barely managed to keep up the production. Eventually, word began to spread that wooden toys of the finest quality were being made in the little workshop in Billund. One day, a man drove into town, a man who would change Ole's future. He was a wholesaler from Fredericia.
I've heard that you're making some very nice wooden toys.
Well, one does his best.
The wholesaler was very impressed with all the wooden toys and placed a big order before he left.
Now there's finally someone who can see the opportunities in what we're doing. Look at this. The wholesaler wants to put a lot of our toys into his store for the holidays. It's going to be a good Christmas this year, but we'll be busy.
Now there was a lot to do in the little workshop, and Ole could rehire his former workers. Ole only used the highest quality wood, which was hand-picked and very carefully prepared. They worked day and night to get the order finished, so the wholesaler could get the toys out in stores before Christmas.
Is there something wrong, Dad?
I'm afraid that we're in big trouble.
In the middle of their work, Ole received a letter saying that the wholesaler had filed for bankruptcy and couldn't buy the toys that he had ordered.
But what are you gonna do? What about Christmas? Now we can't even afford food?
I'll do it.
What are you gonna do, Dad?
I'll do it myself. I'll drive around selling the toys.
There was no time to lose. Ole packed the car with all the toys and drove off. Ole was a very good toy maker, but was not a very good salesman. He didn't like praising himself or talking about how carefully the toys had been made. but he had to keep trying if he was going to sell anything.
This is going to be a blast. Is there anything you are interested in?
It looks exciting, but I don't have a lot of money right now. Maybe we could trade and call it even.
Well, I would prefer money, but...
In the end, he succeeded in selling all the toys. He didn't receive as much money as he had hoped, but the family managed, and they had plenty of food for Christmas.